We're live. Welcome to the
We're
TCG
live.
show. We're live. Welcome to the TCG show. I'm Marilyn and I'm here with Pepperlyn today. And I'm on with my husband Rob from RNG Games.
Hi.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Why is
It's a
this
little
weird?
yeah, it's a little awkward, but we were gonna we wanted to do the podcast and we weren't sure exactly how we were gonna start or set it up. And I think that this is probably the best way. Rob is in the studio and I'm home. uh, Tell us a little bit about where the studio is and like what's behind you.
It's in my warehouse. And behind me is a bunch of things that didn't sell in the store, so I just put them here.
So they like
It's a
toys and
collection. Yeah, just a mishmash of junk.
okay. And the cards, are they what are the cards? They're cards that didn't sell?
No, that's my personal collection.
Oh.
PC stuff.
So you want to talk about it? What kind of PC stuff is it?
Yeah. So mostly Magic the Gathering, a
Uh-huh.
couple of Pokemon cards, but mostly graded Magic. I know a lot of people don't grade Magic, but I do. It's my way to kind of engage with the hobby, and I can't play anymore or do anything like that because of time. So I just collect graded Magic cards now, and I
What
grade them myself. I don't buy them normally. Normally, I grade them myself. Just a thing I do to engage with Magic.
do you are they from packs you open or are they from
No,
singles that you bought?
no, mostly that I bought from like customers and things like that.
Do you
Some I opened, but most of them are from people.
do you usually send it in if you think it's going to be 10 or you just like it so you wanted to grade it?
Well, yeah, I'll only send it in if I like know 100% it's gonna get a 10.
Has anything not gotten a 10 like that?
Magic, no. Like new Magic cards are printed so well. Only you kind of have to grade the ones that were like printed in Japan because
Hmm.
anything printed anywhere else is kind of like garbage. So anything printed in Japan in a collector booster, 99.9% you're gonna get a 10 if you send it in.
Is it in Japanese or is it in English?
It's in English, but it's printed in Japan.
Ah, interesting. So like are English magic Pokemon cards ever printed in Japan or is it all in the US?
Not
You know?
most. I would say I think. Well, they don't print like English Pokemon cards in Japan. They print like they make like some kind of side items, like mostly in China, like the dice and like the things that go inside the ETB and all
Mm,
the other paraphernalia that goes in it. But no, most of the Magic cards are printed in the US. I mean, did I
Pokemon.
say Magic? Pokemon cards.
Yeah,
Most Pokemon cards are printed in the US.
English
Yeah.
or all. Oh, okay. And
No,
then
English. Yeah, the Japanese is all printed in Japan.
and then Japan or English magic cards are in only in Japan or are they both in
No,
Japan
it's
or
printed
US?
everywhere. Like so like when I get like an order for like a bunch of Magic, like especially collector boosters, if it has like a pull tab on it
Hmm.
and it the packs have a pull tab. Well, you could see it on the packaging. It says, you know, JPN. It'll say like, printed in Japan. It'll say it on the packaging, like the master case, the palette,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
even on the master case itself. So I know it's printed in Japan, but like if you just buy a pack off the shelf or someone like hands you a pack at a store and it's like got a long crimp on it and it's got a pull tab, it's printed in Japan. So it's
Oh.
good card stock. Yeah.
So is that what makes it better? Is it everything better about it? Like the card stock or is it the ink? What's the
It's just like the card stock in general is better, and just I guess they have a better handle on the printing process over there.
mm,
Uh I guess here it's just sucks.
okay. So they just like slap it together or whatever.
Pretty much, yeah.
The Andrew was opening up the prismatic last weekend, and he was like, "Wow, they really rushed this out just because it just didn't. It did the print quality wasn't as good." Can you tell that when you're opening up packs and opening up like different?
Yeah, well, yeah, if I'm opening up like, because sometimes I'll get like one order from one distributor and another order from another distributor, and one is printed in Japan, the other is, I guess, like Belgium or US, wherever else it's printed, and
Mhm.
like it'll be shades off with magic, like completely like it looks like a different card completely,
Really?
but it's the same card. Yeah, just the saturation, the hue, everything, to the point where like if I'm shipping out, like, and someone orders 4 of one card, I'm like, shit, I can't give them 2 that look like this and 2 that look like this. Like I have to like
Uh-huh.
kind of like go through my hundreds of cards that are, the same card and pick out the ones that are like the same color. I'm like, Jesus, this person's gonna think these are fake, but they're just printed in different places.
Do you when that happens to you or when you see that, do you think the cards are fake or do you just know that all right,
No,
this
I
is
mean,
just different printing
yeah.
variations?
I mean, if I'm opening packs, I know they're real because I open them. But like if I'm buying cards,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I I could tell a fake card from a mile away. Like especially in Magic, Pokemon, it's just not even like I've handled so many cards that you can't get one by me. It's impossible. Like I can tell from a mile away. Fake.
I've been with you
So
when
it's
you
like not
bought fake
even.
cards. I'm like,
Oh yeah. Well, that was a different
yeah,
story.
yeah.
I was in the moment.
You gotta remember who you're talking to.
Oh yeah. That was a special case scenario.
Yeah, it made you stop and really look at cards when you're buying it, even though you trust the source. It
Yeah.
was an interesting situation. Me and Rob went somewhere, and Rob was chit chatting with the guy, and he felt very comfortable. And it was a not authentic card situation.
No, it was an invention worm coil engine. Normally those are like like extremely fake. Like I could tell from like a mile away. But like when you're there and you're just, you're schmoozing and I'm like, "Oh, I'll take that." And I don't even look at it and they tell me the price, I pay, and I just put it in my pocket, whatever. And then we're in the car and Marilyn, you're like, "Imagine it's fake." And I was like, "Huh." I didn't even look at it. I take it out. I'm like, "Oh my God, it's fake."
It was so weird that it was just I didn't. I'm sorry, the dog is going crazy right now. Um, when it happened, like I don't know. There was something about it that I was like, oh, maybe it's fake. And just because you were so casual about buying it, it was a kind of expensive card. And still, when I'm with you and you're buying expensive cards or spending any kind of money on cards, I always get kind of nervous, especially if you're not really paying attention. Because I know, well, I guess you could tell or say why you don't. I could talk about you. I mean, like the reason why you don't really give people a hard time about cards because you own a store, right? Like when you're
Yeah,
buying, you pay asking price. You don't
that's it.
necessarily
Yeah.
haggle or anything like that, or inspect the card very seriously because you have that experience all day, every day in your own store.
Yeah. Well,
So,
yeah, I never haggle at shows, anything like that. If someone tells me, I walk up, I want that card, it's that price. Okay. You know,
all right.
and that's what it is. And if they want to give me a deal, great. I'll buy more from them in the future. But, it I never haggle at all.
uh, Someone in the chat, Ray wants to see your grail. Do you have any grails
My
handy?
grails?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got any
hold on. Let
grails?
me get
Let me.
I got what do I got?
I I have a couple like casually in this little office that I'm in. I'll show off mine first. We have the Sylveon Eevee. One of my vendors had it, and I know they're very hard to grade. And it's a PSA 8.
Let me
It's
whip out
not.
my Zion case.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
All right, flex on them, Rob. So this is
Sheesh.
Sylveon Eevee. I don't have it in a 10. I know that one of the vendors that are going to be at the show this weekend is going to have it in a 10, so I'm going to check that out. So I pulled these both from the same Surging Sparks ETB. This one I knew it was going to be that it was a good card. It was the Latios, and Rob sent it out to be graded, and it was a 10. But also the the Pikachu. Rob can tell you the story of the Pikachu. But yeah, Surging Sparks Pikachu.
It was in her bulk.
As a lot of you know, I'm not really a Pokemon guy, or I'm just starting to kind of collect Pokemon. I just started my very first master set, but I pulled the Pikachu while we were sitting on the couch, and I said, "Oh, I got a Pikachu," and Rob, of course, because he has his laptop in his lap, and he wasn't
My
really paying
pocket.
attention. In your pocket, he had his laptop in his lap, and he wasn't really paying attention. When I showed him, I said, "Oh, I got the Pikachu," and he was like, "Oh, okay." And then I just like kept going and put it in the bulk on the kitchen table, and because it's kind of underwhelming if you ask me. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, I got a Pikachu. I didn't think it was the Pikachu. And
It
then
was.
a couple weeks later, Rob was looking through my bulk on the kitchen table, and he found it, and luckily it was a 10. And
It was.
yeah.
How do I change my camera angles? I want to change my main. I don't think I could do that. Can I do that? No, I
No.
can't. No. All right. I'll turn this one off. All right. So what do we got? Like single cards? All right. Let's start off with WWE. We
now,
got
now,
my,
now he's gonna just show off.
no. I got my Stone Cold. It's an 8, but it's still cool. That's a PC card. I collect Mana Crypts in Pristine 10. I'm going for all of them. I got this one. This one's a PSA 10 because it didn't get a Pristine, so I had to resend it in the PSA. What else we got? I got a serialized Doctor, my favorite Doctor. It's serialized to 29. He is a nice Doctor, so that's a grail for me. I got a Gold Star Charizard, PSA 9. That's
Shout
my
out
Pokemon
Steve.
Grail.
Shout out
I got
Pokemon Steve.
an actual Grail, Holy Grail from Sorcery Contested Realm. That's kind of cool. And a revised starter brick. These are my personal Grails.
Well, I mean, like, that's great.
Oh, and I have a Time Twister.
A time twister. Are they all?
Yeah.
You have any? Oh well, I guess you've one Pokemon Grail, but the rest of it is just
Magic. Yeah.
yeah.
Time Twister. I got what else do I have? What other power? Time Walk Unlimited. Time Twister. Alpha.
Alpha Quest.
And
What's going on with Alpha Quest? Rob?
Oh, I have an Alpha Lightning Bolt, an Alpha Demonic Tutor, and no Lotus, not yet. I haven't found one that I thought was worth it.
Well, when we were in Vegas at one time. Now, you know, 3 years ago when we were in Vegas and we had the opportunity to buy a Black Lotus, and I, of course, the nervous one that I am, I wasn't exactly sure that it was a good buy. But now that it's 3 years later, I'm like, oh.
Well, what did they want?
They wanted
10,000, I think.
I think they wanted 13, but we were gonna offer them 10. But then it was just like late in the day on a Saturday, so we weren't
Yeah, it
able
was
to
in
get
bad
money out of.
condition.
Yeah, we couldn't get money out from the bank, like especially that much money. It was like, it just the stars weren't aligned for it. But now it's probably
I'll
what,
get it.
like 20,000? What do you
No,
think?
no, 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 no,
3 years? Has
no,
it gone up that much?
mm-mm. No. They stayed pretty steady.
Yeah. I mean, like
Yeah,
it
you
was a
could get it
PSA
pretty clear.
6, right?
Or no,
What
it
was,
was I think it was a 5 or a 4.
uh,
It wasn't. It's something that's something you crack out and
right.
just keep it raw and you know.
Yeah, but like the Rob in the store was kind of nervous about having it in the store. He was worried about security. Like he was not. Rob is one of our or
Oh,
one of
other
Rob.
Rob.
Yeah, Lil
Uh,
Rob. He works in the store, and he was very concerned about security around having the Black Lotus in the store while he's working, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's something that we didn't consider when we're going to buy it or thinking about buying it.
yeah. Yeah, but that's something I would just keep, not in the store
Yeah, but like, then what's the point of having it if you can't really flex?
because it's mine.
I know, but like, would you really though? I mean, you wouldn't keep it in the store just to show
Well,
people because you know
I
everyone
got
would be.
look at all this stuff I got here. I don't have all this stuff in the
Well,
store.
people, I
My
mean, the people that come into the store don't care about that.
They don't care about this. They care about this.
They do. They do care about that. Yeah, I mean, like, safety deposit box, yes, but I mean, like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you could
Nah, we
have it in the
just
frame. But I mean, I think that if you had a Black Lotus, I think that you'd want to keep it in the store.
for like a day or two.
Yeah. So let's talk about the TCG. Unlike the TCG store and the TCG show, I mean, like, we're talking about
Mm,
TCGs, but I want to know about you in
mm.
the store and how it's been changed since we started the show.
I think, well, I don't know if it's just because, of the way the market is and everything like that, but it like a lot of people, from the show do come to the store now. And, I don't know if it's just because of the popularity with Pokemon and everything like that, but the store has very, quickly transitioned from a magic store to a Pokemon store that has magic. So, it is what it is. Pokemon is definitely paying the bills right now. And hopefully in the near future, it'll become 50-50 again.
There's a lot of people that come into the store though that say that they're just getting into Magic or just coming back
Oh
to Magic.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, although Pokemon has gotten an like it's like what, like 100-fold in the last year,
Yeah.
but there are still a lot of people that are coming in for Magic. Do you think that you've
Yeah.
lost any Magic people to Pokemon, or you think it's just
A couple, yeah.
huh?
Yeah. There are a couple people who stopped playing Magic and started playing Pokemon, which is weird because, it's so hard to get Pokemon right now. You would think it would be the inverse.
Hmm.
But it's not. Yeah, so a couple people, but not a bunch, just a couple.
But is it
But
cheaper to
our
play
Oh,
Pokemon
way
than it is
cheaper to
to?
play Pokemon, way cheaper. You can build like a competitive deck for like less than $100. It's like crazy.
Yeah,
But,
and I mean, with
you know,
Magic, it's you got to continue to build on and get more expensive cards, right?
I mean, in both games, there's rotation and a format that rotates out. So, like, yeah, of course, your cards that were once good you can't use anymore. But like with Pokemon, if a card ever gets expensive, they throw it in a battle deck, reprint it, or you know put it in a V box, and the $20 V is now a dollar. They keep it really inexpensive, for that exact reason, so people can play, so kids can play. It's a children's card game. That they want it to be affordable. So they do a really good job of making the cards that are playable not valuable. So people can play, which is good. And then they have that inverse of, alt arts being insane and very pricey. You don't have to play with those. You can play with the other version, which is much more affordable, but they are there for the collectors, which is great. Magic's completely different because the value is completely derived from its utility. So like it's not a collectible people don't really collect it. So the value isn't going to be brought on by the, you know, the art or the popularity of that Magic card or whatever. It's derived from its actual utility in the game. So two different things, two different markets.
How is the market different now than when you first started?
Like from what game? Like Pokemon or Magic?
Yeah,
Or
Pokemon. I mean, we're mostly Pokemon talk on the podcast. So how is when it started? It was just the end of COVID, right?
yeah,
2021. So what was it like then? And starting up a
it was like
store
the
and
same.
during
Oh, it was terrible. Yeah, I think like the first. I'm trying to think the first set. Oh, celebrations. When
celebrations.
celebrations, yeah, celebrations. I think for celebrations, I had like 20 ETBs in total for like the whole store. And the like grand opening, they all sold. And I was like, I got nothing on my shelves. What do I do? So like it was just like buying things from the secondary market just to put them on the shelf, and it was a nightmare. It kind of similar to now. It's like similar to now. I just bought I got a beautiful deal from a distributor, bundle deal, you know, Surging Sparks. I had to pay, what did I pay? $40 a booster bundle of Surging Sparks each, but I had to buy 2 booster bundles and I had to bundle it with a battle deck. So like it's crazy. Of course, I bought like, what did I buy? 150 bundles, so 300 booster bundles, paying $40 a piece just to put them in the store for. I hope, you know, I get like $45, $49 each to make $5 every time I sell one. It sucks,
You have
but
to
it
be a
is
little
what it
more
is.
creative, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like how have you gotten a little more creative
Well,
since you've like been there? Now you come back, all right? So we had like a little bit of a normal market for the last 3 years, and now we're back to not being able to get product. Like how
yeah.
have you got? What's different now?
Well, not much has changed because I've always been doing what I've been doing. Like I always buy the shit that no one wants to buy. I always like break it down, take the packs, stockpile them, and that's all I've been doing for the past 2 years. So like it really doesn't bother me as much as it bothers, you know, a newer store or a store who wasn't buying the junk throughout the years. So like I have a stockpile of packs that I could go through and, you know, have enough for league, have enough for people to buy. Cause, you know, every night, not every night, but every Sunday we have league, we have 20, 30 people for our league every night. Everyone's guaranteed 3 packs. So that's what is that, 90 packs guaranteed every Sunday is leaving the store. And, you know, when I first opened, like that was our whole allocation is like 2 cases of booster boxes. So like, because I do what I do and I buy the junk, I have a bunch of packs that I could go through and take for the store and have enough stock. So not
So
much
you
has
supply,
changed, but everything has changed.
right? You also you have a lot different products. Like you have Japanese and Chinese and
Yes.
graded cards and
Yes.
all these other products that you didn't have and that you didn't
Yeah.
necessarily want.
I did not want to do Japanese. I didn't want to do any of that stuff just because it was so hard for me to get English. And I'm like, let me focus on one thing. But people seem to love Japanese cards. So I stock them now. And I don't even get them from Japan. I get them from, you know, online stores that sell them here just because I don't feel like wiring some guy in Japan $10,000 and hope I get, you know, I'll let them do it. I'll let those stores do it. I'll pay them a little more and I'll make $5 or $10 a box. And I'm okay with that. I got bigger fish to fry.
Is there anything that you store or had in the store in the beginning that you don't have now?
MetaZoo.
Come on, it just was reprinted. You don't want it?
No, I'm good. MetaZoo. What else?
They have sports cards now.
Pogs.
Oh yeah. Well, the Pogs, they were a big seller.
They're
I
coming
really,
back.
yeah, I know. Now they're coming back. Now that I've gotten rid of them, I bought a huge lot of Pogs when we first opened, and I was determined that we were going to bring Pogs back because that was what I remembered from when I was a kid. There was a little game store, kind of in the same area that Rob has his store, and we that's where we would go buy Pogs, and yeah, it didn't take off.
Mm-mm.
But my little vending machine, that's doing well.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Pumping out those quarters.
I how's Yu-Gi-Oh? How's Yu-Gi-Oh in the store?
Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh night. We do Yu-Gi-Oh 2 nights, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We used to do Lorcana on Tuesdays, but Lorcana has just completely died. It just no one plays it here, and at least in my store, no one plays it. So why keep trying to make something happen that's not going to happen? So Yu-Gi-Oh 2 nights, baby. We get a lot of people. Thursdays is probably a big night because we've been doing it on Thursdays for the past 2.5 years. So we get about 30 people for our like OTS nights, and Tuesdays we get about like 15 to 20 for on Tuesday. So it's been going great, and our sneak peeks always are full. We have like 20 or 30 people for our sneak peeks,
Do you
which
get a
is
lot
like
of people
pre-release.
that for Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
How often does that happen? Like once a month?
Well, no, every set release. So like, every main set release, core set. So like every couple months.
Yeah, and they don't come out as frequently as Magic and Pokemon though.
No.
Yeah. Do people
But
come in a lot?
so
Do people come in a lot to sell and trade cards, or and how has
oh
that
yeah.
changed?
Oh yeah. When I first opened up, I was on doing everything through like binder POS. It's, but it's kind of shitty. It's so bad, that system. So we just started buying things, with TCG player, like buy list kind of. We use like a scanner in the store now. It's like an overhead camera, and you literally don't even really need to know anything about cards. I mean, kind of a little bit. But it's very trainable. You just, scan the card, it pops up what it is, and then we put in our pricing, whatever we're buying it at, whatever it is for that kind of card. If it's a high value card, we pay more. If it's like, a bunch of $2-3 cards, of course we can't pay, we can't pay 80% on that. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. So we put on our little pricing structure, and it scans the card, and then we give people an offer. And that seems to be the best way to go about it, just because it's like so easy. We used to manually have to type things in, and it would take like so long. It was such a grueling thing every time someone wanted to trade in. Someone could come in with like a stack of cards now, and we could scan them in, and that's it. Hopefully soon we'll be able to do like that through the new TCG player software, which is like quick list scanning. And we could just like literally put them in like the Fujitsu scanner, and it will just go scan all of them, populate what they are, and I just do it that way. But it's a little, I don't want to buy another Fujitsu, and because like also, when you're buying cards, they're not yours yet. You don't want to put them through a high speed scanner and scare the shit out of someone selling their cards, potentially damaging them, even though it's completely safe. Do it all the time. I put $1,000 cards through it. It's completely safe. But people all day selling Pokemon, it's like nonstop. It's slowed down quite a bit, but every time there's something new that comes out, it's like I gotta be there. I'm there from when we open until like 6 o'clock, and I don't move from like the buying station. Just people just trading in cards all day,
Are they
which
trading
is,
modern or vintage or mix, or what do you see?
I mean, we've been buying a crap ton of vintage. People have been dumping just vintage on me, but it's good because vintage has kind of been very steady. So I'm more than happy to buy all the vintage, that gets traded in. Doesn't matter what it is, any condition. I don't care anymore. Give it to me because the price is just too good. Modern, I'm a little bit more selective, especially with people trying to trade in graded stuff. I'm just like, I'm not even close to where people want to be on it, just because I'm like, this market is just on a knife's edge and I'm not getting caught with this stuff, especially when it comes to graded, because the price multipliers are like insane. So I'm just staying away. I'm a bottom feeder when it comes to graded stuff. Give me those $50 and $100 slabs. No. Eating those up.
Oh, how is the card shows being so frequent and around you? How has that changed buying and selling?
Well, every time there's a card show, doesn't matter if it's ours, someone else's, people like after the show always come to the store. So it's like every time there's a card show, we see like a tremendous bump in traffic in the store. Whether it's buying or selling.
It's interesting because they're like insatiable. They go to because even if it's a
Yeah.
big show, I mean, like, because I've been in the store too, and like Woodbridge is pretty big, and it's not that far from the store. So even if someone is at the Woodbridge Card Show for 10 hours, then they're still coming to the store to check out what you got.
Yeah. And we try to stay as stocked as possible with sealed singles, everything. So like when people walk in, I want them to be, even if I'm paying up for this stuff and I'm not making a lot on it, trust me. I just like to impress people with the stock I have because it keeps them coming back. When you walk into a store and you see they have 1 or 2 ETBs on the wall and like a booster box, it's like, oh, all right, I guess it's kind of cool. I like people to be like, whoa, you guys have a lot of shit. It just it makes me feel good that people come in and are impressed by the stock we carry. So I make it a point, even if I have to pay up for the stuff, to have it.
I mean, like, even if you go into GameStop today, it's a lot of like junk on the walls, and not necessarily, you won't see any cards, or you might see a lot of empty shelves.
I mean, GameStop's
And
starting to carry like booster boxes, like whole booster boxes, and like it's crazy.
Andy wants to know what RNG means. Yeah, can you see the chat?
I can see the chat. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I didn't know if I was allowed to. Am I allowed to engage with chat?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, the scanner. I'm using the FI 800R, much more affordable than the 8170, and it's really clean. So like any new scans that have any new scans that are on my eBay are with the FI 800R. RNG means random number generator. So it's like RNG, kind of like, trading cards or gaming. It's all RNG based. So that's kind of what I made the store as. And I added a Z at the end because I'm edgy.
Everyone asked me what RNG games means, and because they think it's Robert and G. I'm like, Robert and
Yeah.
Grandma.
Robin.
But no. What did you think the show was going to be like when I first started it?
More work for me, but it's not. I literally do nothing, and it's great. You do
Well,
all the organization. You do all the. I mean, the day of the show, yeah, I'm running around doing this, doing that, getting yelled at. But
by who?
By you.
Oh, I thought that people were yelling at you. I was gonna
No,
get
no,
him.
no, no, no,
Like,
no, 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 you.
well, it's usually you telling me to calm down. You're like, Marilyn? Well, I mean, I
Hmm.
get a little worked up.
Yeah. But, for the most part, you do all the heavy lifting, which is great because I could not handle a single morsel of extra work.
Well, you do get the credit.
I do. I do get a lot of the credit, and I appreciate that.
You appreciate it. See, like that's funny. I mean, like I don't think I've ever heard you like say that you appreciated the credit. I mean, like we've had many. I mean, like not so much as right now because I think that I've put myself out there a lot more when it comes to the show, like
Hmm.
putting myself on camera. But
Oh, yeah. First starting out, everyone used to be like, great show, Rob. Great show. I'm like, yeah, it's tough, but I got to do what I got to do, right?
yeah, it really like got me. It still gets me. I mean, like it still gets me when people like say, "Hey, man," or like I
Oh,
get a
like
lot
in
of,
the DMs.
yeah, I get a lot of
Hey,
DMs and,
hey,
hey,
dude.
dude, hey, man. And I'm
Thanks,
just
bro.
like, yeah, a lot of that. And I mean, like, part of it is like just the way that people talk, and part of it is that they just think it's a guy, which I mean, whatever. I mean, over the last week, I've had a lot of messages, and not all of them are favorable. So I'm happy that they thought it was a guy, or maybe they wouldn't have been as hard if they knew it was a woman, but
Mm.
they it happened, and now hopefully it's dwindling down a little bit. So how do you compete with big retailers as an LGS?
Um, eh, I mean, I'll always have the product. It might not be at the best price as a big box store, but you can always rely on getting it from me. You can walk right into the store. You don't have to wait in line for 20 hours and fight a 50-year-old man in a parking lot to get an item from me. You might have to pay a little bit more, and there's a price for convenience. So, that's it. I'll always have it. And when the market goes the other way, I will always be a better price than big box retailers. But, you know, it's a scale. When things are up, I have to charge more to keep it on the shelves to give people that wow factor when they walk in the door, having a great amount of stock. If I, charged way under market, I would get blown out. I would have nothing on the shelves and people won't come back. And I know a lot of people say, well, they're not going to come back anyway because you're overcharging them. But people, most of the people that have been in this hobby for more than a year, they understand what happens. They understand what goes on. So the brand new people coming in that are very upset with pricing and the way everything is, I don't want to sound like an ass, but I don't need that type of customer. My customers who have been with me since day one, and they understand how the market goes. When things are up, they got to pay a little bit more because I got to pay a little bit more. Like I just said, I just bought booster bundles of Surging Sparks for $40 each from distribution. Blooming Waters, I'm limited to 2 a week. I have $85 for me to buy Blooming Waters from a distributor. Like it is what it is. Sure, when things are pre-ordered, and we put our orders in for new sets, those prices don't really change. But when the product comes out and it's selling at $200 a box, if I'm at MSRP, I'm getting blown out, and I'm not going to have anything I'm not going to have anything next week. So the pricing structure is always key to having stock available. And some people just don't understand that it benefits me more to have it sit on the shelf for a little bit longer and have it than to just sell everything. I got to get rid of it. That's not, I don't play that game anymore. I'm past that. It benefits me to hold on to it, sit on it. If it sits on the shelf for an extra 2-3 days or a week, perfect. That's great. I'm able to have it for that person that walks in the store and wants to buy it.
If you could change anything about TCG, what would it be?
About just any, like all TCGs or like
Or like owning a store.
I mean, if I could change anything about owning a store or TCGs, I wish that when things come out, everyone loves to buy it at MSRP and it sells at MSRP every time. If we could just control that, like everyone will buy it at the price it comes out and the price it says it is, and everyone loves the product at, let's say, $59 MSRP. Everyone loves it. Everyone's buying it at $59, and that's it. And then everyone buys it. No one complains. It's a great value. Constant, steady flow. Of course, it'll never be that way because of the secondary market and how this product is. You know, it's like an unregistered asset at this point. You know, it's like coin collecting and all that other stuff. It's all financial pretty much. And even the people that just collect, it's financial. You know, people love to have their collection worth a certain amount of money. Sure, it looks cool and the art's beautiful and it's beautiful cards, but in the end, you know, there's a certain wow factor or coolness that your collection's worth a certain value to it. Sure, there's a very small subset of people who probably don't agree with that, but the growing majority of people like that their collectibles are worth a little bit of money. And
That's why you have a Zion case.
right. That's why we have those cases. But if I could change anything, it would just be a more steady market. It's either up here or it's in the ground. It's either or, and it's so stressful.
Mm. How amazing is your Patreon community, and also how important is Patreon to your business?
I'd say, well, I've closed it. It's no longer, you can't join. And if, you leave now, it's a one-way door. I've changed the way I do things. Just because I've learned in the past with up markets, you attract a lot of people who join and have unrealistic expectations in what I could acquire and what they could buy it for. So the people that you acquire during these times, you definitely want to watch out for, and they're not going to be a good fit for you or your business. But how important is it? I'd say last year and the year before, it was a crucial part. Like it was the business. But this past year, it hasn't been as important in the business as, the card show and the store itself. I mean, the store itself didn't even do nearly as much as, Patreon did. But now, the store has surpassed it and the online sales has surpassed it double almost. So it's like, it's important. I enjoy doing it because I enjoy the connections I make. And a lot of people, who have joined the Patreon have been with me since day one. They know they could always, even when something's hard to get, I'm going to get it for them because they've been with me since the beginning. It doesn't matter what it's going for on the secondary market. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go above and beyond and get it for them. Whether it's, buying it from another store to get it to them. Like with Prismatic Evolutions, people don't really understand what I had to do for that. This was right before people don't realize how quickly the market changed. Prismatic Evolutions pre-orders came out. I didn't have my allocations yet, but me being, who I am and what I've done and what I've spent, we have a kind of a clue of what we're getting. So, I order, let's say I ordered like 2,500 ETBs, which is, not too far off from what I normally order, maybe 20% more. So I was like, let me pre-order 10% of that. Me being very ultra conservative here. Literally, I sold them for $39, by the way. $39.99. And it literally sold out in 15 minutes because, of
Sneaker drop.
course, yeah, looking back now, I put out like 250 or 260 ETBs sold in 15 minutes. And I got my allocation back and I got 100 ETBs from my main distributor. But my alternate distributor, who I've spent almost nothing with, gave me the same amount. And I was like, what is going on? It's almost like every distributor was like, everyone gets 100. Who's the one of the top accounts? They get 100. Everyone gets 100. And I was like, shit. So I had to buy like 70 ETBs from eBay and TCG Player and pay. I think I paid on average $85 a box just to fulfill my $39.99 orders. So I think I'm the only idiot that lost money on Prismatic.
Yeah, that was rough. I mean, like it was hard for me to watch and like seeing how people got or still how people are with Prismatic, knowing how hard you got hit and how I see a lot of people with it and the people going to GameStop and going to Walmart and clearing out the shelves and stuff like that. And then they come into your store and they're mad that either you don't have it or it's a little more
Yeah,
expensive.
I'm used to it. And when I'm in the store, I explain it in a way to make so they understand. I'm
I'm
very
too hot.
honest with what
I'm a hothead. Like I have
I'm
like
very
yeah.
honest on what I pay for things and how much I'm making because it's never a lot, even when it's high. Even when the market's high, it's never a lot. Sure, there's a week where we do good on a product because we pre-ordered it and we have a lot of it, but like once that sells out, we have to then scramble to buy stuff, and we're like every other person paying up for these things. So people don't really see that. They think like at the beginning we got so much that we've had this for this. We paid $30 for a elite trainer box. So every time they see a price go up, they think it's because we're arbitrarily doing that because the distributors do have a big hand on the secondary market. People don't think that is a thing, but it's true. Like when a distributor is charging us $95 for a prismatic ETB, there's no way that the market will ever go down below that unless the interest completely dies, which isn't going to happen. So, people think that, a lot of game stores and scalpers, that's a big thing, have direct hand in how this works. But the distributors definitely have a hand in it as well. And people don't realize that.
What would you be doing if you couldn't do this anymore?
Oh,
Or if someone
I
bought
think you
how
froze.
about this? Oh, how about now?
No, you're
Can you
good
see
now.
me? Oh, okay. What would you be doing if you weren't doing this?
I'd be loading tractor trailers at my old job or still an
Oh,
EMT. I don't know.
well, if you didn't have the store, you think that you would continue to do
Oh, I'm
online
sorry.
sales?
Oh, you mean if I didn't have the store? Sorry,
Yeah.
the rug got all bunched up. Uh I'd be a ripping, shipping, YouTubing sensation.
You think?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Not
Do you
enough
think that
time to
you'd
think
still
about
want
that.
to you think you'd still want to be a card store owner or like have to do with cards? Like if you could go and start a different business, you think that it would be trading cards?
Uh Probably. Yeah, it's like it's you know, it's kind of like all I know now. Like all the old information flew out of my head. Rob could do whatever he wanted. Hey, Mason, what's up, man?
I'm like, is that my Mason?
It's our Mason. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would do. I would probably, I don't know, if someone came in with a lot of cash and offered me money for the business, I would take it, and then I would start another one.
Card store though, or like you would be stay-at-home
Probably.
husband, or
I'd
would
be
you just be
stay-at-home
like my,
husband for a little
or like,
bit.
but or like would you just help me with this the show? Would you? What do you think? I put you to work.
I mean, I would probably just do online sales.
Uh-huh.
I would transition to another business, online only, whether it's trading card adjacent or related, whether it's, a supply business or something, manufacturing something that someone doesn't have now. I would figure it out, and I would make it work, and I would be successful at it. And that's all I know. So there you go.
All right. So we didn't talk about this, but like, how did you get started? We I was like, how is it going to end? And now, how did it get
So,
started?
uh, well, I mean, oh, it was very kind of confusing start to the store, but like in general, how I actually got started in business, I was doing, the Amazon thing, doing a lot of retail arbitrage and online arbitrage with Amazon, doing liquidations, a lot of liquidations I would do. I bought storage units. I bought all sorts of stuff. Started an eBay account, started an Amazon account, selling things on those for like making pennies. And I didn't care because I was building something. I was doing something.
Feedback.
You thought
I'm like,
you
I'm
thought
gonna
I
cry
was
thinking about it. Like it's
you,
uh
you thought I was psychotic in the beginning, but I definitely grinded a lot. I did a lot of things that I probably wouldn't do today.
yeah.
As far as working all night and going to work in the morning, but
Now you just work
how
longer
the
hours.
yeah. So like people watching you cry now.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about okay, let me tell this story about I remember vividly, like I was it was probably during COVID. I was working in the hospital and you started this and you were sending something in and you were like, "You know what? I lost 35 cents on this." And I'm like, "Why?" Like why are like I thought he was crazy. When I tell you I thought he was crazy, I thought it was crazy. And he would say for the feedback and I didn't see it. Like I didn't see
I was I was trying
what
to build a customer base.
and he was losing 30 cents and he was losing 60 cents and he was losing $1.50 just for feedback. And like it's not guaranteed that you're going to get this feedback when someone buys something on eBay, but he was doing it. And yeah, I if you would have asked me 5 years ago that it would have turned into this, I would have never imagined that we we of course now like you have been able to uh grow your business in the way that it has, and then I have been able to like ride your coattails a little bit and then be able to
No,
build my
you
own thing.
yeah.
But like to see where like your business has gone and then seeing how the card show has just taken off, I'm so proud of what you've been able to build and the ability to for me to have the courage to do something like this because it wouldn't have happened if it didn't start with that feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You, the card shows all you. You didn't ride any coattails.
Well, I mean, I'm sponsored by RNG Games, right?
Yeah. I mean, how much of a sponsorship is it?
Well, there's the case,
Yeah.
right? You
Right.
sponsor the ads,
Right.
so you did more than that other multi-billion dollar corporation could do. So,
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
so I appreciate it. I appreciate like the ground that you paved so we can do this together. It's been a wild ride. I mean, like it's to go from that very first day. I remember the cash register and the line, and I was just like, "This is crazy. You're gonna open a store in South Plainfield?" Like the town that I
Yeah.
grew up in, yeah. Like no retail store survives in South Plainfield, and you
Especially in that shopping plaza.
right, and you said to me it's going to be a destination, and I did not understand that. I didn't understand it at all,
Believe me,
and
if there's a game store, people are out there looking for it. Doesn't matter where it is, doesn't matter what part of town it's in. They're coming. So,
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. The South Plainfield local economy has never been like thriving, or it was thriving in the 90s or early 90s, I guess. But it's
yeah, I mean, it didn't
yeah,
matter. My whole goal was opening the store was to break even online and have a place like a storefront where I could acquire things and sell online. And the store just, because of the freaking endless nights I spent in it, kind of snowballed and it became its own thing. And, it's its own local economy. It's its own. We have every night there's an event going on. Sure, events don't necessarily pay the bills, but they bring the people in to buy things and to sell me cards and sell me things and buy things, hopefully, and not steal things, hopefully. And it's definitely taken on a mind of its own. And I no longer have to be there every day, all day. But doesn't mean I'm not working. I'm here. I'm here in the trenches taking grenades instead of at the store.
yeah, I think that that's a misconception of what you do for your job. That I would talk to Mason about it earlier this week. That people think that you hang out in the store and play, or just watch people play, and
Yeah.
then I tell them what you actually do, and it's wild because you not only do you have the retail store, you have the online sales, you have a 3,000 square foot warehouse, you have 7 employees, you have uh, like your hands are in a lot of things, and then now you're 3D printing.
Yeah, I'm a 3D printer now. Oh, Steve's in the chat. Steve, hold on. I
Ah,
was
Steve,
showing my collection, which this came from you. This one.
Pokey Steve, he's a real
There it
MVP.
is.
We love Pokey Steve.
PC card right there. Yeah. So, what were we saying? I forgot.
Oh, we were just saying that you have hands in a lot of things. You're not
Yeah.
just hang out in the store all day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm always trying new things. I'm always, trying to, take the business to like the next level and do things to make us not stand out, but diversify, because you can't really just rely on one thing. People that just have a store and that's it, and they don't sell, any other marketplace. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. They make it work. Me, I don't want to rely on any one thing. Like, if you take out one pillar of my business, I don't want it to implode my business. If all of a sudden eBay stops for some reason, I'll transition to other places. I'm like water. I'll always find a crack. I'll always find the crack to get into. So kind of sounds weird, but I'll always find
that crack.
Yeah, I'll always find that crack. Can't hide that crack from me. No, but I will always find
happening.
I'll always find a place to
weird.
go. That's why, I always have to have the doors open in all these different marketplaces and all these different things I'm doing. So if, God forbid, one of these things all of a sudden stop, I'll definitely be able to transition the business to other things. Maybe this is the Valentine's Day portion.
Oh, God. I was thinking crack cocaine, but that's just my brain. So
crack
you
cocaine.
keep yawning. You worked your ass off today, and you still, for the Valentine's Day episode, you decided to hop on.
Yeah, today I took apart the whole garage. I had a whole weightlifting, a squat rack, Olympic. I had a full gym in my garage, full at-home gym that I never used. I used to compete in powerlifting, not anymore. That's old Rob. So I took apart all that stuff, got rid of it, built a shed, shipped out all the orders. What else did I do today? I think that's it. Wait, that seems like a lot more that I did, but I just listed 2 things. It was a lot, all right?
There was a lot.
It was a lot.
Disassembling the whole garage, that was a lot.
Because why are we doing that? Where are we doing the garage?
Are you asking me, or are you asking yourself?
I'm asking you.
Oh.
Where are we doing the garage? We're gonna make it a podcast studio to do stuff in. And because after a long day at the warehouse, I don't want to go online and, stream on YouTube, or because I want to do that, but I don't want to be here all night at the warehouse. So I said, hey, let's dismantle the whole garage and redo it. Let's insulate it. Let's put heating and air conditioning in it. Let's, make it a nice indoor area, livable space, not livable, but like a single studio where we could do stuff. And that's what we're doing.
And we're going to kidnap Andrew and make him live there.
Yes. Work. Work here, Andrew. You live here now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I think it'll be something fun. It'll be an extra little space to work in if I work from home, so I could go out to the garage area and work if I wanted to. I don't have to stay in this one spot. But yeah, I think it's gonna be good, and good to have you home because you work long hours and you could just mosey on back to the garage.
Yep, mosey on out.
It's
good that it's detached too, because it's like a separate thing. It's not attached to the house, so it's like a separate. It's like a warehouse out of the warehouse. That's what
it's a warehouse house.
Yeah, warehouse house. It'll be fun.
What's the feature of RNG Games X NJTCG show? Where you see us going?
So we have 18 months on our lease in South Plainfield, and I'm not renewing there because they're tripling the rent because the landlord's a scumbag. But he's not going to be listening to this because he's a scumbag. So, yeah, so we're moving. 100% moving.
Like
he
our
wants
house?
me out of No.
I'm like, why are we doing all this to the garage? We're gonna move, but okay.
No.
Where are we going?
Well, it ups the value. I don't know yet. I don't know. All I know is that for what I need, it's going to be very expensive. I kind of want to, consolidate the warehouse and retail together. So I'm going to need like 4,000 square feet probably in total minimum. But I would like to branch out and make more stores. I would like to do that, but that would require, people I trust,
More
people
Andrews.
that more Andrews, people I trust, people that I would trust with the name of RNG Games. It takes me a very long time to even hire someone local in the store. Like I will eat shit for a year rather than hire someone new that I don't know. I need to it needs to be an emergency for me to have to hire someone, just because I look at all this stuff as my stuff. It's my stuff. So I have to trust the people around my stuff.
I'm just reading what Steve.
Oh,
No,
I
I'm
was
reading.
like,
I'm like Steve. Steve might be one of our next employees.
Steve,
He wants to be around his cards again.
You're gonna open up all the packs. Can't leave a pack around Steve.
Yeah, Steve opened up all my babies, but that was okay. I let him. I'm really excited for this weekend because we have a big show coming up on Sunday in Bridgewater, New Jersey TCG show. It's going to be over 140 tables, and it's going to be great. And then we just signed our contract for our first out-of-state show, and it's going to be in Pennsylvania, which is wild.
You got to rebrand the TCG show now.
Yeah,
it's no longer New Jersey. We're going national. That was the word.
I'm trying. I mean, I'd like to see the show go into more states this year, but we have 10 shows. When I saw that TikTok yesterday that Collecticon was doing 18 shows this year.
Yeah, and you're doing 10 by yourself.
And I'm doing 10 at that's crazy to me that Collecticon's doing 18 and I'm doing 10.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
just a few more Marilyns and we can make this a world show.
Yeah, right? I mean, we already know Ryan's over there talking to Dean today. They were already our friends, right?
Yeah.
We have friends on YouTube, Rob. Who are we?
Yeah.
It's wild. It really is wild, the people that we've been able to meet and all the things that we've been able to do.
When you're a good person, good people, good people are attracted to good people. And, it takes a good person to grow an audience and, engage with people and get people together. So good people get attracted to that. So it's no surprise that we know good people.
Yeah. I mean, I'm see them in the chat, thank you, Andy, for everything that you do for us. It's just really, Pokey Steve, you really incredible people that we've been able to meet in this time. It's just sometimes I feel like the universe is just pushing us towards the good things. So it's, I feel very lucky. And this is the second time I'm crying on the stream. I'm a mess. I am a mess. Okay, so that being said,
let's wrap it up.
We're wrapping it up. Come to New Jersey PCG show. I promise I won't cry. Maybe I will. I get very emotional around the time.
She cries the night before. So tomorrow,
I get very emotional when it comes to the show because it's just there's a lot, how it started and how it's going. It's very emotional for me because it's just I am so incredibly grateful. And I'm grateful for the 9 people that are watching this right now. it's really incredible that you guys even care to talk to me and Rob.
Yeah.
Like it's really nice. So and you're Rico's hero, Rob.
Am I? Love you. Love you too.
I
All
do want to
right.
say that I'm happy that I made the phone call. Can I tell you that I still think about the phone call that Pokey Steve made that night? And he said, "Are you in the business of buying cards?" And I said, "As a matter of fact, we are."
As a matter of fact, that is our whole business.
Right? I'm so glad that Pokey Steve walked through those doors and we're able to hang out with him because he's such a cool guy. So
He's a cool guy. Nice people attract nice people.
yeah. We'll talk about me and Rob's first date another
Next
time.
Valentine's Day.
Next Valentine's Day. Should we talk about our first date or how we
No.
Now it sounds weird. All right, guys.
It's not weird.
Nothing's weird.
Promise it's not weird.
No, well, I was working in home care at the time, and I knew Rob would be driving on the turnpike, and I was up in North Jersey, and we met at a rest stop. But I can't tell you the story.
Oh my
No, it's just how we
God.
met.
It sounds so weird. We met at a rest stop, Marilyn.
I know. What was the name of it? Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The Alexander Hamilton on the turnpike. And you bought me
That wasn't our first. That wasn't our first date.
No, our first.
All right. Let's wrap it up. Come on, enough.
All right, first thing, he took me out for pancakes because pancakes are my favorite food, and we drove over an hour to the pancake house in Ridgewood, and it was so nice. Rob bought himself some new sneakers and a new hat. It was very adorable.
I gotta go. I'm going. Bye.
All right, I love you. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Love you too.